Dear learners, welcome to my channel. Now, in the last video, we have learned about uh, importing the data, then doing some transformation and loading of the data. And the most important thing that we have learned is how to create a calendar and how to convert that calendar into a financial year calendar. Okay, so we have created a date calendar, which is a date table, and that from that we have extracted year, month number, and month. And then we have converted, based on the data set, we have converted into financial year and financial month also that we have calculated. So we have created fiscal year, fiscal month, number, and fiscal month. So finally, when we see the output, it looks something like this, where the data is arranged into the structured manner. And we have the fiscal month that is listed, and we have years that are listed at the top, right? So up till over here that we have learned in the last session. Now today we are going to move ahead with our next part, that is, and you can also just format it. Let me just format it, and let me put the value to some low font so that I can arrange my visuals over here, right? Just click on blank. Now the next visual that we are going to talk about is one of the interesting things that is called as a map chart. So if you see a map chart over here, you will see in the second column in fourth row. Now you can directly click on the map and you can have the visuals over here. Now here we need to understand, whenever we want to insert a new visual, first of all we need to click on the blank canvas. If you select any of the visualization and if you select the visualization, any other visualization, then it will convert into that visualization. So we need to always make sure that whenever we want to create or add a new visualization, first of all we need to click on blank canvas and then we need to click on that particular chart so that it can be visible. Alternatively, in Power BI, say for example, here we have something as customer dimension. Right, in customer dimension, these are the fields that were available. Now, if you see, one of the interesting field that we are having it is known as a state. Now, what is there inside the state? So let's go to the table and let's see what is there inside the customer. So we have customer ID, store name, account number, address line one, city, postal code, state, and country. Now, if you see over here, the state and country, these are geographical information. Whenever you have a geographical information that are there in your data set, then the most appropriate visualization is the map chart. Map means on a globe, where is the position that will be listed. So if I directly click, or if I directly select the state, hold it and drag it directly on the canvas, so automatically it will take map chart. If you see, the chart has been selected automatically, map chart. Now why it is taken map chart? Because the system knows that this is a geographical information, and for the geographical information we need to import the geographical map diagram, right? So this is one of the interesting visual that we are having it, that is a map visualization, where you will see based on geographical location. Now as of now it is not visible because of some reason, but it will show you the place, or basically the map that is there on my uh, global position that is there. Okay, so now my map visual has been loaded. If you see on the geographical dimension, it is being seen. Now let me put it on focus mode. So if you see, this is your world map, basically it is there. So if you see all these dots, what are these dots? These dots are basically individual states that are there. Now see, when you open a map chart, the first part is a location. Location means where is your data point that should be there on location. Basically, location is kind of an intersection of latitude and longitude actually. But because it's a geographical data, system already knows, and this will use the Microsoft Bing's map, right? Microsoft Bing. So now automatically the location will be selected on world map. You can just select it and see the world map entirely. Okay, and you can just uh, see the location that is there. Now, the most important thing over here is this legend part. Now, what is the legend part? Legend part is like putting your values inside the column field list or inside the column in pivot table. In pivot table, we have something like rows, when we have columns, then we have values, and we have filters. So column was supposed to be the legend part. Legend is basically a third dimension, right? If you see over here, we have special things called latitude and longitude. If you have a data related to latitude and longitude, definitely we can put it over here. And the next part is a bubble size. Now, if you see this bubble size depends upon what the kind of measure that you want to do. So, for example, we have already created one measure called revenue, which is there in the items list. So, if I put the revenue measure into the bubble list, you will see the measure which is written revenue by state. So the size of the bubble will determine the revenue inside that country. If you just put anywhere on this chart, and if you see here, we are having something known as state California, and the revenue is 97. So if you see $97, 97 lakh 64,229 dollars. Now if you go on the next another bubble, so you can see here it is Texas. If you see now, if you see over here, this is a visualization. If you select it on particular bubble, it will be filtered, right? So filter will automatically be applied on that thing. But if you try to see the filter over here, there is one region which is there in the in North America, and the same region is visible in the Europe also. Means there is some problem with the data. So let me just click one, let me add just another variable and let me put it inside the legend part, that is country. So if I'm putting country in the legend part, so it will tell you, it will color the country. So legend, it will identify which country it is. So if you see Australia is there, Canada is there, then France is there. But if you see some of the pieces of France has landed up in Africa or in African continent. If you see, means there is some problem. If you see the purple dot, that is Canada, it is also there, and Germany it is also there, and United States is also there. But if you see now, there is some problem with this data. Now, why this problem is occurring? Because it might happen that a name of any state which can be overlapped with another country, like in the sense like see, the name of a state can be there in two different countries, like similar name of the state, right? Say for example, here in India, say for example, there is a region called Dwarka. So Dwarka is there in Gujarat also, and Dwarka is there in New Delhi also. So system will get confused if the name of the state is similar between two countries, then system will get confused. Okay, so to solve this problem, we have two different ways. The first way is either you can join state and country in Power Query Editor, or what you can do is directly you can use them into the text function. So first of all, I'll tell you how to fix this problem of map chart using Power Query. Now, say for example, we have already loaded the data and we are inside the text. So if you see the table view, here it is entirely text. So if you see the region, state it is there and country it is there. Now we can join the data set over here also, or we can go to the Power Query window and then we can create a new variable called a region, and then we can combine state and country to fix the problem of this France. So now let's see both the ways. So first, whenever you want to go into the Power Query Editor window in the Home ribbon, Home tab, you will see Transform Data. When you click on Transform Data, you will be directed to Navigator window. Now, in Navigator window, this is your Power Query window. Now here, say for example, if you want to create a new column. Now, if you want to create a new column and if you want to add new column, you have to go to add column, right? In the home on in the ribbon tab, there is something known as add column. In add column, you can take custom column. So let's take custom column. Now, in custom column, we need to define that what kind of calculation we need to do it. First of all, you need to give name of the column. So I am giving a name called region, right? Now, how do you define region? So I want first the state. So I'll just click on state and I'll click on insert. So what will happen? It will come over here. Then I have to join. So for joining, there is an operator called concatenate, and concatenate operator is ampersand, that is and sign. So now I want to join my state. So state, and I'll use ampersand sign. Ampersand sign is used for joining, as a joining operator. Now I want to join this with what? Country. But before that, I want some separators. So I want comma and space bar. So comma and space bar, since it's a text data, I need to put it in double quotes. So open double quotes, I'll put comma and one space, and I'll close double quote. Then again I will use ampersand operator to join my text. Right, so whenever you want to join two text string, you are going to use ampersand, and in between, if you want to put any character, and if it is a text character, then you have to put it in double quotes. And the state should be joining with country. So I'll click on country and I'll click on insert, and I will click on OK. Now you need to understand, whenever you write down any formula over here, there should not be error which is there inside the formula, otherwise it will not be executed. So if you see no syntax error has been detected, this line should appear, and let's click on OK. So what will happen? A new region will be formed with state, comma, then space, United States, and we have to define this as a text variable. Okay, we need to also decide the data type. So what will happen? You will see there is a new variable called region that has been created inside the Power Query, right? Now, let's go to home, close and apply. So what will happen? This entire query will be loaded again, right? And all the changes that has been there into my data set, that will be loaded. So now if I go to table view, and if I just click on customer, you will see a new variable called region that has been added, right? Now this data we can generate over here also directly, right? As of now, we have created in what? We have created in Power Query, right? So in Power Query, when you create it, it will be loaded as a query, and then it will come to this text region. Alternatively, you can directly create over here also, right? So if you see and select over here, right click on it, and you will see something known as delete, right? Now, as of now, I have created the region column using Power Query, but let me create one another column called region 1, and I am using the same thing over here in the DAX calculation. So this is another way, right? Now let me just add a new column. So to create a new column, I have to create new column. Now see how I'm doing it. I am giving a name region 1, right? That is the name of the column. I cannot give the same name. So I'm giving a name region 1 is equals to. Now again, I am doing the same calculation. What I'm doing, I want my variable called as a state. Now state is there in the customer table. So you see the structure reference will appear D underscore customer. There is a table name, and the state, that is a column name that I want to take it. So I'll press tab. Then I'll join with ampersand sign and click on open double quotes, comma is equals to close double quotes. I'm again using ampersand sign to join another text, and this time my variable is country. So D underscore customer and country. That is my variable. Now, if I press enter, what will happen? A new column with the same thing that will be appearing over here, right? So this region we have created in Power Query window, and this region we have created in DAX window. Okay, so there are two ways you can actually create a new column and you can have it in your data model. So now region that has been taken, right? I'm just deleting this on a second region that we have created. This was just for your explanation, right? Or we can just keep it as it is. So now this region I am going to use it in my visualization. So if I go to report view and let me just go over here, and if you see there is a region which is created and there's a DEX calculation that we have created. If you see the region, you will not see any symbol because we have gone into the Power Query, then we have created it and then we have wrote it. Here, whatever calculation that we have done, it is in the DEX, and that's why you will see the f of x symbol that is there, right? Function of x. Now, if you try to closely see, as of now, I have put my variable known as state over here, but I'll remove my state variable and I will put country as my location in the location part. So now if you see, all the countries and the states are automatically arranged. So if you see, there are a lot of pieces that were there in the Canada and United States, which was falling in Europe, but now everything is sorted. So now if you see, and if you closely zoom in, France is having their own. Then you have something which is related to European country. Now you see the spot that was, visible in the African continent that is being removed. Okay. Now Australia is being there, right? So you see the error which is of geographical information, we need to clear it by joining either state with the country or you can choose any of the region. Say for example, if we have an address, in address we have something known as house number, then name of the flats or a society or a area in which it is there, then block number is there, then there we have main road in which it is appearing, then we have city, then we have district, then we have the state, then we have country, we have pin code. So you can join any of the variable and you can do the analysis by just aggregating two things so that in geographical map it is easily visible, right? So this is how you actually create a map chart and you fix the problem of maintaining a correct identity over the region. So on geographical map, right? If you want to place any region, then it should be put in or it should be done correctly. Okay. So in this video, we have seen how to create a map chart, then how to join two text string with the help of concatenate operator. Now you can join the two things with the help of two different things. One, you can go to the home window and you can go to the transform data and you can go into the Power Query editor window. In that you can create a new column with the help of custom column. You can go to add column and you can select custom column and you can just aggregate over there with the help of concatenate symbol or an operator which is a joining operator. And the same thing you can do once if you're doing it in the Power Query, then you need to close and apply. So when you do close and apply, every query, entire query will be rerouted into your data model. Now, if you come to the next part, this is a visualization view, this is your table view. If you come to the table view, you can just create directly your region over. If you click on the region, you will not see any formula bar. Why? Because this data was created in Power Query. But if you see a new column which is there, you will see, expression which is there by which we have created actually this column. Okay, so either you can create into the Power Query editor window or you can create over here by using new column. You can go to the table tools or you can go to column tools and you can choose new column and you can just give the name of the column that you wanted and you can just write down the expression which is written over here with the ampersand sign. Ampersand sign is a concatenate operator which is used for joining two text string. And if you have any text variable which is there between two text string, then you have to put in double quotes. Okay, so this is a thing that you need to remember. So when you just uh, join two text strings, say for example city and district or district and state and country, all your problems on GIS map chart, right? Map chart basically It's a geographical chart where geographical information is there. Okay, so if you want to fix any problem related to it, you have to combine any of the two variable so that system doesn't get confused. Generally, state and country are taken together so that it is not getting the name is not getting overlapped and system can understand the uh, most appropriate location that is there on the map chart. Now, one another thing that we need to remember is that if you see, we have given an appropriate name of the measure called revenue. So that is appearing into my report. If you see revenue by region and country. Now the name is very important. If you see region, we have kept in the location part. So that's why it's written by in front of region. And if you see on the legend part, it is written and country. So legend always you need to remember it's a third dimension. Your region is your the x dimension and your bubble size that becomes your y dimension. Okay, wherever the measure is there, that is your y axis basically, right? On a coordinate geometry, y-axis is always a numeric value that you want to analyze it. So here revenue bubble size is your y-axis, location is your x-axis, and legend is the third dimension, that is z-axis. If you see, we have this legend that are appearing at the top. Okay. Now if you go back to the report view, again you get back to report, it will be a normal visualization that we are having it, right? And if you click on over here into the focus mode, and you can have this also option export data, then show as a table. Now if I click on show as a table, what will happen? It will go in half of the mode into my data and half of my into visualization. So here you can see the bifurcation of numeric value also and the chart also. If I go back to report again, then I am having something known as remove. If you want to remove it, if you want to keep on a spotlight. Now what is spotlight? If you click on the spotlight, then only this will be visible, other will be hide out or it is grayed out. So only this visualization will appear. Okay, so this is known as spotlight. So again, if you click on it, all your other visualizations will be visible. And if you see there is a new visual calculation, so you can actually do a lot of inbuilt calculation and functions are there in the visualization itself also, right? And we have something known as this is known as a filter icon, which is used for filtering it. If you have applied any slicers or any kind of setting that we'll see in the later part of the video, but as of now, you see we have this show as a table feature, which is important one, which is showing your tabular value also. And one is most important is the focus mode. Focus mode will keep this entire visualization into your full focus, right? So these are the options that are available for you to explore the map chart. Now in this map chart also we can go to the visual part and we can do a lot of settings over here. So if you see the first is map setting, the style is raw. But if you say aerial view, then you can have this kind of a aerial view over here, right? Then if you choose a dark mode, so you will have this dark mode also, but it will take some time to load that data because this is a GIS chart, right? Now if you see the light mode, then you're having this something as light mode. Then let me keep this as a rule, right? Now, now let's go to focus mode. Now we have something known as controls. So if you see automatic zoom, as of now it is on. Zoom buttons are off. Lasso buttons that are off, and coding, geocoding is done automatically. Here we do not read it. Legends this is most important. Where we need to keep the legend. By default it is on top left corner, but you can put it on the top center, so it will be at the center. You can put it on the bottom left, so it will be at the bottom left. The general notation is at the top left, so I'll just keep it at the top left. Text. Now, what are the text that are visible? You can just increase the size of the text that is there, right? Or you can see the font which are available in the country. You can just decrease the text over here. You can change the color also from here. Then we have something known as bubbles. If you go to bubbles, and there is an option also reset to default. Generally, we always keep it default. Scaling. Scaling is done by default automatically, right? So you can choose any data range or magnitude of size that you want to do it, but always make sure to keep it an auto mode. So the first one is size, bubble size, and the second one is color. What kind of color that you want to use are done automatically, right? I'll always suggest that we keep it this as a automatic only. Then category labels. Now category labels, if you are keeping it on, so you will see all the categories that are listed over here. But when you keep it, you need to make sure that this graph becomes very cluttered, right? So always to it's an appropriate choice. You can just restore it to default by default setting. That is much better one. Then we have something general settings. So now if you go on the general settings, use something known as property. So if you see the height and width, now for that let me just go to back. Height and width is a size, right? You can just increase and decrease it. Then position, where you want to do it, you have a padding, the size which are there available between this one, right? Then advanced option, right? Then we have something known as title. Now title by default is written revenue by region and country, but you can choose any of the name over here, and the heading size also you can just change it, right? Heading 2, 3, 4, it will change it as per your selection. You can do it, but I will always prefer to keep it as a by default, right? Then divider, if you want it, if you can keep the divider, it will help you to divide the things, right? But I don't think so it is needed over here because we don't have it. Spacing is also one customized spacing you can give it between the labels. Always keep it default. Effect size, this is most important. Background is a white, right? So that is also fine. But visual border, I always keep a border into my visualization, and I want it particularly in the black color, right? Border, so that my visualization region is visible. Because whenever you have a white border, you will not be able to know where is my visualization or what is the limit of my visualization, right? So it is very important to know this thing, right? So if you want to resize it, you can resize this by this arrow, but you must know where is the corner, where are the edges of my visualization. So for that, you need to select the visualization. If you click on blank canvas, it will be white out if you don't put the border. Now let me just go to this visualization, and if I go to format and general and effect size and border, if I off it, and if I click on blank canvas, you will see, sorry, let me just go to this one, then general, effect size, visual border, I'm putting it off, background, keep it off. But visual border, say for example, if I off it and if I click on over here, you will see you will not be able to know where is my lines, or where is my chart, what is the position of my chart, where is my chart is. So you need to click on it, and then you can see the line over here, right? So I always suggest to keep a border in the general, in the effect size. I'll always suggest a border, visual border to be there, and make sure that visual border is of black color so that it is visible, right? Let me just go on to focus mode again. So you'll see a border that is visible over here, right? Now along with that, you can format your visuals with in the general part you have a data format. So for revenue, if you want to do some formatting, the format option is also available. Then you have some header icon. So if you click off, your header icons will not be visible, right? But I always suggest to keep the header icon on. Tooltips. So say for example, if you are having this thing and if you click on it, so these are tooltips which are there. If you see region, it is California, country, there is and revenue. Now say for example, if I want to add any another thing, then I can definitely, so this is a tooltip. If I click on off and if I select all this thing, it will not be visible. So if you click on, and if you just click put your mouse over here, then it will show you tooltips. This is known as tooltips, right? So these are the options which are available for formatting of map chart. Okay, so in visual we have map setting, legend, bubbles, and category. In general, we have properties, title, effect, data formats, header icon, tooltips, and all that. You have to actually experiment all these things into your visualization. Until and unless you don't actually practice it and use all the different tools that are available, all the different kinds of things that are available, then you will not be able to understand what is the use of each of this functionality. Okay, so in build visual, in this video we have learned about how to create map chart, how to put the measure in the map chart in the bubble size, then in location what we need to put, in legend what we need to put, and most importantly how you format your visual. And the most important thing is how you create this region using Power Query window into the Power Query editor window. And here in the text also how you can create a new column and you can join the two text string and you can remove the redundancy that is there, right? So all your geographical data should be perfectly to use map chart. Okay. So I hope you have learned everything about map chart, the how to build the visual map chart, how to use the formatting part where you can use all these formattings of the chart, how you add the border, and how you can actually use this tool, how you can actually um, effectively present the geographical data on a map chart. Okay, so I hope you have learned about the map chart and how to create a region and how to put it into the map chart, and you can create an effective visualization and communicate your data using this visual. Okay, so I hope you have liked this video and you have learned a lot about map chart in this video. If you have any query regarding this chart, then definitely you can ask me the question into the comment section. And please make sure to follow all my coming videos so that you can have a grasp of all types of different charts. Okay, so I hope you have liked the video and see you in the next video. Thank you.